Picture this. You step into a coffee shop enveloped by the rich aroma of espresso and the cozy buzz of conversation. Now, rewind to 1980s America. That inviting scene you just pictured? Nowhere to be found. Enter Howard Schultz. Fresh from a life changing trip to Milan, he witnessed a coffee culture so vibrant it sparked a vision to transform how Americans enjoy their daily brew. But how did Schultz turn this simple idea into a global phenomenon? It's a story of determination that'll make you look at your morning cup a little differently. Ready to uncover the unexpected twists that brewed up this multi-billion-dollar success? Hey friends, I'm Dennis Geelen, author of The Accidental Solopreneur. Welcome to the Happy Accidents podcast, where we dive into real stories of unexpected success, from chance encounters in everyday life to the serendipitous moments that shaped thriving businesses. Each episode uncovers surprising events that anyone can learn from. Let's jump into today's adventure. It's 1983, and Howard Schultz, a young marketing director for Starbucks, steps off a plane in Milan, Italy. He's there for a kitchenware trade show, but little does he know that this trip is about to change his life and the entire coffee industry forever. As Schultz wanders the vibrant streets of Milan, he stumbles upon a bustling cafe. It's like stepping into a small cultural revolution. The rich aroma of freshly brewed espresso mingles with the lively chatter of patrons. Intrigued, he steps inside, and what he experiences next is a revelation. The cafe is a whirlwind of activity. There's baristas crafting espresso drinks with expert precision, creating a mesmerizing symphony of sounds. Schultz watches in awe as patrons stand at the bar, savoring their coffee and engaging in animated conversations. It's a far cry from the bland coffee shops back home in America. What captivates Schultz the most is the entire experience, the warmth, the community, the connection. He realizes that these Italian cafes are social hubs, what sociologists might call a third place between work and home. It's a concept that's entirely foreign to American coffee culture. As Schultz sips his espresso, his mind races with possibilities. Could this work in America? Could he bring this immersive coffee experience to a country where coffee is seen as little more than a caffeine delivery system? The challenge seems daunting, but Schultz is nothing if not determined. Exploring more of Milan's cafe scene, Schultz becomes increasingly convinced that this is the future of coffee. He envisions sleek espresso bars in every major American city, serving up great coffee and a whole new cultural experience. As his trip ends, Schultz boards his flight back to Seattle with a head full of ideas and a heart full of enthusiasm. He knows he's stumbled upon something big, something that could revolutionize American coffee culture. But he also knows that the road ahead won't be easy. How will he convince his bosses at Starbucks, a company that only sells coffee beans and equipment at the time, to embrace this radical new vision? Schultz's unexpected encounter in Milan has sparked a vision, but turning that vision into reality is going to take more than just some enthusiasm. It's going to take grit, it's going to take determination, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. As he settles into his seat for the long flight home, Schultz feels a mix of excitement and trepidation. He's about to embark on a journey that will test his resolve, challenge his beliefs, and ultimately reshape the way millions of people experience coffee. Ever had a brilliant idea that everyone else thought was crazy? Well, Howard Schultz was about to face a room full of skeptics who couldn't see the coffee for the beans. As he stepped into the Starbucks board meeting, his mind was buzzing with espresso fueled dreams, but little did he know his greatest challenge wasn't convincing customers to embrace Italian coffee culture, it was persuading his own company. Back in the early 1980s, Starbucks was just a small retailer selling high quality coffee beans and equipment. No lattes, no frappuccinos, not even a single cup of brewed coffee. Their focus was on coffee purists who wanted to make their own brew at home. But Schultz had a different vision that would transform the entire American coffee landscape. Fresh from his eye opening trip to Milan, Schultz pitched his grand vision to the Starbucks owners. He painted a picture of a bustling Italian coffee houses with rich aromas and a sense of community. He envisioned Starbucks as a destination or a third place between work and home where people could gather and savor expertly crafted espresso drinks. But his ideas were met with resistance. The owners were comfortable with their current business model, unable to see why Americans would want to hang out in coffee shops or pay premium prices for fancy drinks. It was like Schultz was trying to sail a ship of innovation through a perfect storm of skepticism. Faced with this impasse, Schultz made a decision that would change coffee history. He left Starbucks in 1985 and founded his own company, Il Giornale. Starting Il Giornale wasn't easy. Investors were skeptical. Who would think Americans would pay $3 for a cup of coffee? Schultz, however, was determined to brew up success. He later reflected, I took my life in my hands, learned from anyone I could, grabbed what opportunity I could, and molded my success step by step. That's the kind of determination that separates the dreamers from the doers, folks. Now, despite the challenges, Il Giornale began to gain traction. Schultz worked tirelessly to recreate the authentic Italian coffee experience he had fallen in love with in Milan. He focused on quality, atmosphere, and customer service. And slowly but surely, people started to catch on to this new coffee culture. Just when it seemed like Schultz's gamble might pay off, fate threw him another curveball. An unexpected opportunity arose that would bring his journey full circle and set the stage for a coffee revolution. Imagine the scene. Howard Schultz sitting at his desk, sipping on a perfectly crafted espresso. The clock ticks loudly, each second amplifying the tension of a make or break day. The phone rings, shattering the silence. It's 1987, and the original Starbucks owners have decided to sell the company. For Schultz, this call is the golden ticket he's been waiting for, the chance to bring his Italian coffee dream to life on a grand scale. But here's the kicker. He needed to raise $3.8 million to make it happen. In today's world of billion-dollar startups, that might not sound like much, but in the late 80s, it was a fortune that could make or break his dreams. Schultz hit the pavement running, determined to secure the funding. But it wasn't easy. Investor after investor looked at him like he had three heads. When he pitched his coffeehouse concept, they were saying, Americans paying $3 for a cup of coffee? Are you out of your mind? But Schultz wasn't about to let a few no's stop him. As the clock ticked and other potential buyers started circling, Schultz felt the pressure mounting. It was like being in a high stakes poker game, but instead of cards, he was playing with his dreams. Would all this hard work and vision slip away? But then, just when things were looking the bleakest, a stroke of luck hit. An unexpected investor, someone who could see beyond the skepticism and actually believed in Schultz's vision, stepped up at the 11th hour. With the funding secured, Schultz was able to merge his Il Giornale with Starbucks. This pivotal moment in coffee history set the stage for a transformative journey. Schultz now had the opportunity to reshape not just a company, but an entire culture. He was about to embark on a mission to change how Americans thought about, drank, and experienced coffee. Buying the company was just the beginning. The real work was about to start. Schultz was poised to create an experience, a third place beyond work and home, where people could relax, connect, and savor life one sip at a time. The Italian inspired coffee dream was about to become an American reality, and Schultz was ready to lead the charge. Since Schultz took the reins in 1987, Starbucks has exploded from 17 locations to over 35,000 worldwide. A simple trip to Milan sparked a global coffee revolution. How's that for serendipity? Schultz's story reminds us to keep our eyes wide open to the world around us. You never know when your next cup of joe might lead to $1 billion idea. So next time you're out, really soak in your surroundings. Are you ready to uncover your own hidden treasure? Remember, sometimes the biggest opportunities are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone like you to notice them. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Happy Accidents podcast. I hope you find these stories as intriguing and insightful as I do. But make sure you don't miss an episode. You can subscribe to my Accidental Solopreneur channel on YouTube and watch these episodes in video form, or subscribe to the Happy Accidents podcast on Apple and Spotify for your listening pleasure. Until next time, stay lucky, my friends.